Okay, so hello everyone. It is day 7 of quarantine here in Indiana. Out of sheer boredom and a need of finding something to do and a purpose, possibly, hopefully making a couple bucks eventually, I've decided to try YouTube. This is my very first video, so please don't judge. I'm just bored and trying to find something to do. So I know books really well, and I figured I would review books on this channel. So this is just what I'm going to do. I'm going to review books, do TBRs, maybe drunk book reviews. I saw that once. I think Sailor J did that. And it sounds like fun, and I have alcohol, and I have books, and I have time. So here we go. So, a book that I just finished last week was The Night Circus. This was really good. It took me a long time to read because I am a student, and until recently, I have not had time to read fun books, except like a chapter at a time. So I finally finished this last week, I think on Tuesday, so like right after I found out I couldn't leave the house anymore. I'm not sick. They've just shut down Indiana, basically. The whole state, Indiana, is shut down. Anyway, I finished this. It was really good. It is, well, I'll just read the back. So, the circus arrives without warning. No announcements precede it. It is simply there when yesterday it was not. Within the black and white striped canvas tents is an utterly unique experience full of breathtaking amazements. It is called Le Cirque des Rêves, and it is open only at night. But behind the scenes, a fierce competition is underway, a duel between two young magicians, Cecilia and Marco, who have been trained since childhood expressly for this purpose by their mercurial instructors. Unbeknownst to them both, this is a game in which only one can be left standing. Amidst the high stakes, Celia and Marco soon tumble headfirst into love, setting off a domino effect of dangerous consequences and leaving the lives of everyone from the performers to the patrons hanging in the balance. So that's the gist of what the book is about. That's what it says on the back. This was a fantastic book. It is set in, if you can't tell by the way that they're dressed, in like turn of the century. So like 1890 to like 1902, I think. Really, really good. Very descriptive. Like you feel like you're there. She describes the smells, what you're seeing, and it is just so beautiful. And this is a great book to read if you just want to escape. I think we all want that right now. And it is really calming. Like the way that she describes everything is really calming. And then of course like the fight, like they don't actually like fight until like a couple of times, like at the end. But it's like really calming. So I definitely suggest this, especially for right now. I already had it on my shelf. That's what the majority of these videos are going to be. They're going to be books that I already had and do not need to leave to go get. The second book I'm going to review is one that I finished a couple months ago. I didn't really like it. I don't know why. It's called The Weird Sisters. It was pretty good, but like it wasn't my favorite book. I think because I picked it up when I felt sick, like way back in like November, like October, November, I had the flu. And this was just a book that I was like, oh yeah, this looks calming, like, you know, just a relaxing, chick lit novel. And it kind of was, but like the first chapter, you find out that their mother has cancer. And this is set just a few years like prior to now. Like it's present day, but it's set in like mid 2000s maybe. My cat just knocked something down. Mid 2000s, so like cancer treatment's still kind of iffy. Like you might live, but you might not, and of course it depends on like how quickly you found it and all of that stuff. And so throughout the book, it's kind of iffy on whether or not their mom will live, which, I mean, that sets the whole scene for the book, and like that's why they all have to go home. But I just picked it up hoping that it would be calming and relaxing, and it wasn't. This is a book to read if you want to cry. Read this if you need a really good cry. Yeah? So I'll read the back of this one too. It says, 3 sisters have returned to their childhood home, reuniting the eccentric Andreas family. Here, books are a passion. There is no problem with a library card can't solve. And TV is something other people watch. Their father, a professor of Shakespeare who speaks almost exclusively in verse, named them after the bards, heroines, and it's a lot to live up to. The sisters each have a hard time communicating with their parents and their lovers, but especially with one another. What can the shy, homebody eldest sister, the fast-living middle child, and the bohemian youngest sibling have in common? Only that none has found life to be what was expected, and now, faced with their parents' frailty and their personal disappointments, not even a book can solve what ails them. So, I guess that's why I didn't like it. I was looking for a book that could solve what ailed me. And it didn't. It was sad, but towards the middle, it kind of grew on me, and I did finish it. It just wasn't what I was looking for. So if this sounds good to you, then perhaps you would like it, but I think I just didn't like it because it wasn't what I was after. You know, like when you want something for dinner and then you don't get to have that thing for dinner and it just doesn't taste good. Kind of like that. But I mean, it was pretty good. I really the youngest sister was my favorite. She liked to bake and she decided to work at a coffee shop, and so like I was like, I do that. I know what she's doing. And that was really comforting because she was describing some of her recipes and like some of the experiments that she did. Like she tried making bread, but instead of milk she used orange juice, and apparently the only thing it was good for was French toast. So that sounds a lot like something I would try to do. So that character in particular appealed to me. I just did not really like this book. It made me cry a lot, and I didn't want to. So, because I already didn't feel good. And, yeah. So, I don't suggest that. So, yeah, that's the review of these 2 books. I hope to have more videos, later this week, probably tomorrow. And it'll be like, TBRs and more book reviews, possibly, like I said, those drunk book reviews. That sounds like fun, and I could use some of that right now. So yeah, that's pretty much it on the book reviews. I'm doing this out of boredom. So I hope this was entertaining. Go ahead and hit like if you did like this video, and subscribe would be really nice too. So, see ya!